there, it's Flamingo Friday and I'm Vicky Fraser from Moxie Books, and I have something to say today about storytelling and the power of story and the importance of story as well. It is Flamingo Friday, so if you want to watch it in the spirit of how to stand out in your industry, how to stand out from the crowd, then the lesson that you can take away from this is use your power to tell stories, use your voice to share a variety of different stories from all kinds of people all over the place in all different walks of life. And what I'm getting at here is we tend to be shown one narrative, one story, by the media, by other people who have a vested interest in maintaining the status quo. And so that's why when we think of, for example, Indian people from the subcontinent, we think of corner shops. It's when we think of Asian kids as doing super well in exams and they're going to be super smart and going to be doctors and lawyers. And it's why when we think of black people, quite often we think of gangs. Because that's the story that the media tells us. It tells us one story of one aspect, not even a true aspect of an entire group of people. And the stories that we're told, the stories that we are fed right from a really young age, feed into the attitudes and the behaviours and the entire system that we live in right now. And so I want you and me to listen to different stories, seek out different stories, different narratives. And I'm not just talking about the stories of people like Oprah Winfrey and people who have reached the very, very top of their professions, although that is awesome, because again, that's one aspect and that's like an exceptional story. And suddenly we have two narratives where you've got the exceptional people at the top end and you've got just you've got the bottom end of the narrative that is gangs and crime that isn't even accurate or true. It's just what the media choose to portray. And then in the middle, you've got normal human beings who are living their lives and their stories get lost. And so we have one of these two narratives and that's all we have. That's all we're fed, unless we go out and seek out different stories from different types of people, unless we go out and meet new people and make friends and acquaintances from different backgrounds that we've had, and listen to their stories and share their stories and tell their stories. And that's pretty much why I do what I do. And by the way, this also applies to women, because the story is written, all stories are written by rich white men. They are. And so, the story for women then is caregivers, child raisers, not earning as much, being meek, being timid. That's, we need to sit down and shut up and not take up space. That is the story that we are fed right from birth, and it's just bullshit. And so, if you want to change things, the way to change things, one of the most powerful ways to change things is storytelling. Change the narrative. Listen to different stories. Seek out different stories. Tell different stories. Share other people's stories. Don't take their stories and take their words out of their mouths, but share different stories. And in trying to raise awareness about changing the world, don't just share the bad shit either. Share uplifting stories of people just living their lives. Because things have to change. Things are gonna change. They're not changing fast enough. And the absolute best way to do that, the best way that I know how to do that, is storytelling. Tell the stories that matter. Listen to the stories that matter. And do that in your business as well, because as a business owner, you have a voice and a platform and a privilege that not everybody does. So how do we use that privilege? How do we use that voice that we have to change things? We do it through storytelling. That's the only way, it's the only way we're going to change hearts and minds. And the only way we're going to make actual change is to change the structures behind things. People change their minds after we've changed the structures behind things. And to do all of that, storytelling feeds into everything. So that is my thing that I wanted to say for today. Happy Flamingo Friday. Have a great weekend. And just see what small things you can do over the next few days to change the narrative, to find out different stories, to listen to different stories, to learn new things.